Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through the NBA slate on Draftkings for Thursday, March the 16th. Now we have a shorter slate today, a 5-game slate, but as always guys, we're still going to go game by game. We're going to talk through each one of these 5 games. It's not the most exciting slate, I'll be honest. I was taking a look at, kind of doing a quick overview before I started recording, and some of these games on Thursday are just not that exciting. I mean, you got the Suns and the Magic, you got the Nuggets and the Pistons. I mean, there could definitely be some blowouts on the slate, the Bucks and the Pacers. But we're still going to go game by game, give you a breakdown of the slate, what I do like, taking a first look on Wednesday night. But as always, guys, before I do get started with the breakdown, if you guys enjoy these DFS videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and if you guys are new to the channel, if you've never checked out PrizePicks before, PrizePicks is the sponsor of this video. You guys can sign up for PrizePicks. You can use my promo code Noah. If you look at the bottom of the screen, when you sign up for PrizePicks with my promo code, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. Definitely check out PrizePicks if you have not yet. Take a look at all the props they have available for Thursday's games. We do have March Madness starting on Thursday, and PrizePicks does offer college basketball props. So if you're in a state that allows college betting, you can take a look at all the props they have available for the NCAA games on Thursday. There's going to be games on like all day, so yeah, take advantage of the props that PrizePicks is giving out to us. If you guys are not signed up over there, again, use that promo code Noah. When you do sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But let's go ahead and talk through Thursday's little 5-game slate. We'll start off with the first game of the night, the Pistons and the Nuggets. So this one definitely has some blowout risk, but Denver obviously is in a great spot here against a really bad defensive team. We'll start off with Denver since I think they'll be pretty easy to break down. Jamal Murray's listed as probable, so he's expected to play today. I think we kind of have to start with Nikola Jokic. Jokic coming in at 11,600. This is just a great spot for Jokic. This is one of those matchups he should just be able to dominate in. He put up over 60 Draftkings points in 36 minutes against the Pistons earlier this season, nearly had a triple-double. Jokic just been stuffed in the stat sheet lately, been doing everything. Again, this is a game that does have blowout risk, but if Detroit can somehow keep it close, Jokic offers massive upside here. He's definitely one of the better pay-up options on this slate. And then the rest of the Nuggets, where these guys are priced at, 7,700 for Murray, 6,200 for Aaron Gordon, 6K for Michael Porter Jr. I don't love any of them at their price tags, but again, the matchup is so good that I could see one of these guys doing well. Still paying off their price tag. I probably would not play them with Jokic, but if you're maybe avoiding Jokic and you want to play someone else on Denver, it's fine to go to a Murray or an Aaron Gordon, but Jokic is definitely my favorite play on the Nuggets. I don't see too much else that I really like here. And then on the other side with the Pistons, so the Pistons have been really short-handed lately. They're still going to have a good amount of guys out, but they will be getting Jaden Ivey back for this game. He is probable. They're still going to be without Marvin Bagley, Bojan, Isaiah Livers, Isaiah Stewart, all those guys. But with Jaden Ivey back, that definitely makes a lot of the guards look pretty unappealing. Like Killian Hayes, I'm not interested in. Not really interested in like Corey Joseph or Magruder, any of those guys. And it's not like we're getting these Pistons guys at a cheap price tag either. I mean, Ivey is 7K. Hayes is 6,700. Wiseman 6,900. I don't like too much on the Pistons today. I think the one guy that I could see going to would be Eugene Omoyori. He's been starting lately at power forward, been playing a good amount of minutes. Last game against Washington, he did get injured, had to go to the locker room. But the game before that, he started, played 32 minutes, and was really productive, had 34 DraftKings points. His price tag did come up to 5,100, so he's not a glaring value anymore, but I still think he's playable at this price tag. He's probably the one guy that I do like from Detroit. I'm not super interested in really anyone else here, though. I could see this game getting out of hand. I don't really want to be heavily invested in many Pistons today. I think Omoyori might be my favorite play on Detroit, assuming that he remains a starter. But that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the next game, OKC and Toronto. So for OKC today, not the greatest spot going on the road to face the Raptors. SGA is one of these guys that can put up a big game in any spot, but this is a tough matchup. Toronto did a really good job defensively on SGA earlier this season. He only had 36 DK points in 28 minutes. Toronto's been a good defensive team this season. They pressure the ball a lot, so I don't think it's the best spot for SGA. The price tag at 9,600 makes him a viable option, but he would definitely be more towards the bottom of my list in terms of looking at pay-up options for today. And then like Giddey and Jalen Williams, the rest of these guys on OKC, I'm not very interested in. Really, if I was going to play anyone here, it would be SGA, but even him, I'm not, that interested in on this slate. Now on the Toronto side, I do like a good amount on Toronto here. We know Toronto's going to run a really tight rotation as long as the game is competitive. It's a pretty good matchup. OKC plays at a pretty fast pace. I think Van Vliet at 8,600, Siakam at 8,400, both are solid options here. Van Vliet's been the guy that has been more consistent lately, been showing a bigger ceiling. He's obviously going to play massive minutes if this game is competitive. He'll probably have to deal with Lou Dort, but I still think that's a matchup that Van Vliet can have success in. Siakam, on the other hand, obviously not been playing that well lately. His usage has not been like super high. He's just not been contributing much offensively. I don't know what's going on with Siakam, but he's just not that aggressive right now. The matchup I think is pretty good for him, but at 8,400, he feels priced about right, especially with how poorly he's been playing lately. I mean, I hate to box score watch, but it feels like right now with Siakam, you just kind of have to wait to see if he'll ever turn it back on. I mean, he's probably going to have a good game at some point, but it's been like 2 weeks now of just back-to-back, stinker after stinker. So tough to really have a ton of faith in Siakam, even though the matchup is good. Scotty Barnes at 7,300 feels priced about right. Not a ton of interest in him. Really like this matchup for Jakob Poeltl. The only issue with Jakob Poeltl is that his minutes are not secure. Some nights he'll play like 32, 33 minutes, and then some nights he'll play 25, 26 minutes. Again, OKC's been a good matchup for centers. They really struggle on the glass. I think this is a spot where Poeltl can definitely have success, and I do expect him to be productive when he's on the floor. I worry about the minutes, but at 7,200, I don't think he's really going to get a ton of ownership, so he is definitely someone you could look to in GPPs. And then I do want to mention OG Anunoby. He's been playing much better lately, been contributing more offensively, been taking more shots. So with the minutes, through the roof, obviously for OG, I think that puts him in play at 6,300, especially with how well he's been playing lately. They're going to want him out there for defensive purposes against SGA. So I do like OG at 6,300. I think my favorite plays from the Raptors are probably Van Vliet, Poeltl, and OG. Those are the three guys I like most here. But that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the next one, Sacramento and Brooklyn. So this should be one of the more fun games to target, one of the better game environments. We'll start off on the Brooklyn side, and for Brooklyn right now, they're running a really tight rotation. They played like 9 guys last game, but they played their starters big minutes. I know Mikal Bridges, Dinwiddie, Claxton all played really big minutes. The matchup against Sacramento is really good. Sacramento's been playing at a fast pace this season. They've been bad defensively, so I think Mikal Bridges is in a pretty good spot here. We've seen his role be great. With Brooklyn since he got traded to Brooklyn. He's been playing huge minutes. Usage has been great. He's taken 20-plus shots a game. 8,300 feels like a lot to pay for Mikal Bridges, but with how good he's been on Brooklyn, I think this price tag, especially in this matchup, still makes him a solid option. I think Dinwiddie's a fine option as well at 7,900. I prefer Bridges, but I think Dinwiddie's fine. We saw Nick Claxton get up to big minutes last game. The box score is like broken. It says he played 79 minutes. I think he played 39 minutes, though, to be exact. So I don't know if we're going to get 39 minutes again from Nick Claxton, but if he plays anywhere near the upper 30s, we know that Claxton is a good permanent producer, so I do like him quite a bit at 6,600 now that the minutes are starting to trend up. Cam Johnson at 6,300 is fine, but he feels priced more correctly. I'd rather go to Claxton between those two. And then the rest of the Brooklyn guys I'm not very interested in. Again, Brooklyn's been running a tight rotation, so you're not going to see a ton of minutes for the bench guys. They're going to really lean on their starters, at least they have been lately. Now on the other side with Sacramento, really like the spot for Domantas Sabonis. We've seen Brooklyn give up some big games to centers this season. Brooklyn's been a really bad rebounding team, so I think it's a good spot for Sabonis. I think on this short slate, 5 games, Sabonis is definitely a strong pay-up option. He's up there with Jokic, and we're going to talk about Giannis later in terms of best spend-ups on the slate for me. And then De'Aaron Fox at 8,900, I don't mind either. I think it's a tougher matchup for him going up against Dorian Finney-Smith and Mikal Bridges, who are both good defenders. But Fox has been playing at an elite level lately, been playing massive minutes. Usage has been great on a nightly basis. Price tag at 8,900 is fine. I'm fine going to Fox. Rather would go to Sabonis, though, between the two. And the rest of Sacramento, I'm not super interested in. Herter, Barnes, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. These guys are just like wild cards. It's really tough to predict which one of them is going to have a good game between the 4 of them. If you want to take a shot on a Harrison Barnes or a Kevin Herter in GPPs, you could, but I'm mainly going to be looking to Sabonis and Fox on Sacramento. So let's move on to the next game, Indiana and Milwaukee. This is another game that has some blowout risk, but it does have potential to be a really high-scoring game if Indiana can keep it competitive. Now, we'll start off on the Milwaukee side. Giannis is coming in at 12K. I think it's a great spot for Giannis here against the Pacers. This is a matchup he should be able to dominate in. He put up 70 Draftkings points against the Pacers earlier this season. The only thing I worry about is just blowout concern, but we've seen Giannis last few games play big minutes in competitive game, 34, 35 minutes. Don't know if they'll need him to play that many minutes against a bad Pacers team, but still think the matchup's great for Giannis. He's obviously in play on a short slate like this. I don't like too much else on Milwaukee, though. Drew and Middleton are both priced really highly right now, especially with Giannis healthy again. I'm not very interested in Drew or Middleton. Brook Lopez is questionable, so we'll have to monitor this news. If Brook Lopez does not play, I'm guessing Bobby Portis will start. Bobby Portis' numbers when he's playing with Giannis and with Middleton and with Drew are not that great. But I still think Portis at 6,500, if he does wind up starting, would be a solid option. And then Grayson Allen is out, so we'll probably see like Javon Carter start. I don't think Javon Carter is going to be a very intriguing option, but he is very cheap. There's really not much cheap value on the slate right now. So if you want to go to Carter for value, it's okay, but not a guy that I have a ton of interest in. Not a guy that offers a ton of upside, especially when he's playing with Giannis and Drew and Middleton, all those guys. Now on the other side, looking at Indiana here. So Indiana's the team that we just kind of don't really know much about right now. We're going to have to wait and see. It's a tough team to break down right now because Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, and Buddy Hield and T.J. McConnell are all questionable. And then Benedict Mathurin and Chris Duarte are out. So this Indiana team could be very shorthanded if there's no Halliburton, Turner, Hield, and McConnell. We've seen lately the starters as of late have been Isaiah Jackson, Andrew Nembhard. Chris Duarte had been starting, but he's out, so obviously he won't start. Aaron Naismith had been starting. I don't know what Indiana's going to do today. We'll just have to assume that all these guys are in. So like if Halliburton is in, it's not the greatest matchup against Milwaukee, and you're kind of paying the max price for Halliburton right now. He's 9,700, so I'm not super interested in Halliburton today, even if he plays. Same goes for Miles Turner. He's 8,100. That price tag feels correct, if not a little bit too expensive for my liking. Buddy Hield is 6,400. Not super interested in him if he plays. I mean, honestly, Indiana might be a full fade for me if everyone is in, but if everyone is out, then we have to start to look to guys like Andrew Nembhard at 6K. I mean, Nembhard, not the best matchup, but he's just going to have to play a ton, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. He would be a great play at 6K if all these guys are out. Isaiah Jackson would be a good play, assuming Miles Turner's out, as long as he can avoid foul trouble. Jalen Smith would probably play a decent amount. Last 2 games he's played 25, 21 minutes. I'd have some interest in him at 5,100. Jordan Nwora in a revenge game, he probably would have to play a lot. He played 31 minutes last game. If all these guys are out again, I like Jordan Nwora a lot for value. Then maybe like an O'Shea Brissett we could look to, maybe a George Hill. George Hill last game didn't play too much. O'Shea Brissett, I don't think he actually played 28 minutes, but definitely like Nembhard, Nwora, Jackson. These will be the guys I'd really be liking on Indiana if Halliburton, Turner, Hield, McConnell, all these guys are out. But right now, if expecting everyone to play, there's really not much I like on Indiana when you look at the price tags for these guys. So that'll do it for that game. Let's move on to the last game of the night, the Magic and the Suns. Another game that just doesn't look very appealing. It's a game that has a lot of blowout risk, but we'll start off on the Phoenix side. It's a pretty good matchup here for these Phoenix guys. So if Orlando can keep this game close, I think Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton all offer some upside. Obviously, right now, without Kevin Durant, we can expect the offense to really be concentrated around those 3 guys. Booker's been playing really, really well lately, been playing big minutes too. Don't know if this is a game where they really need him to play like huge minutes, but if Orlando keeps it close, I think we will get like 36, 38 minutes from Booker. He's fine at 9,900. I think I'd rather go to like Giannis and Jokic and Sabonis, but Booker's okay. Paul and Ayton are both fine plays. Neither one are priorities at their price tags. And the rest of Phoenix, I'm just not super interested in. Now on the other side with Orlando, I don't like too much on Orlando here. Paolo Banchero at 7,600 in this matchup against Phoenix. I don't love, Wendell Carter Jr. at 6,500 feels priced correctly. Markelle Fultz at 6,400 feels priced about right. I mean, there's just nothing that looks super appealing on Orlando today. Do want to mention that Gary Harris is questionable. So, like, if Gary Harris gets ruled out, we could look to a guy like Jalen Suggs. We've seen Jalen Suggs start in the games that Gary Harris has missed, and Jalen Suggs has been pretty decent when he's gotten spot starts, when he's gotten the minutes. So if Gary Harris is out and Jalen Suggs starts, that would probably be my favorite play on Orlando. But I really don't like much on the Magic here. This is not a team I really want to be heavily invested in. Even on a short slate like this, there's other teams I'd rather be targeting today. It's not the best spot, and I think this game does have some blowout risk. I don't want to be too heavily invested in this one. I think that like the Sacramento-Brooklyn game looks really good. I think the Toronto guys against OKC I like a lot. If Indiana's fully healthy, I could see that Indiana-Milwaukee game being pretty good, but the price tags make a lot of guys tough to roster in that game. So just not the best slate, I'll be honest, guys. I don't really like this one. This is probably a slate I'll be playing, definitely playing a little bit lighter today, but I'm sure we'll be back on Friday with a much bigger slate, plenty of games on Friday. But If you guys enjoyed this video, again, as always, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, go check out PrizePicks. Again, sponsor of the video. You guys can sign up for PrizePicks. You can use my promo code NOAH. When you sign up, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. Definitely check out PrizePicks. If you have not yet, see all the player props they do have to offer for Thursday's NBA games. And take a look at some of the other sports PrizePicks offers outside of just NBA. They offer a ton. You can see all that's available on their board, from NBA to college basketball to NHL, PGA, Live, the World Baseball Classic, soccer. They got everything. So give PrizePicks a try, guys. Use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But good luck on this Thursday slate, guys. I know it's not the most exciting 5-game slate, but again, we'll have a much bigger slate on Friday. We'll see you guys then. Wish you the best luck tonight, and again, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.